What's going on, guys? John with the Pro Cut, and today we're checking out this new little drone by Attop or Attop, and it's the X-Pac-3. This company reached out to me. They wanted me to do a honest review of this drone and tell you all about it. So the first thing we're going to do is open up the box. First thing, it comes with the owner's manual, prop guards, and then go ahead and flip it over. And then you've got your battery charger, which plugs into a USB. Comes with 2 batteries for the drone, extra propellers, a little mini screwdriver to change the propellers, 3 AAA batteries for the radio, phone holder, the drone, which is way smaller than I thought it was going to be. It is really kind of cool looking. And the arms just fold out. The bottom ones go to the back, the top ones go to the front, and boom, there's your little drone. It does have a camera. And then down in the third tray, you have your radio. The radio's got a speed button, a 3D flip button, photo button, video button, and then you've got your up, down, side to side, and then you also have the take off and land and emergency stop button, and then your home button, the power button. The first thing we're going to do, stick the phone holder into the radio. So I've charged up the batteries already. It took just under an hour. Your battery is going to slide in with the clip side facing down and the writing side facing up, and your power button is right on top in the center. Before I power the drone on, I'm going to go ahead and put the batteries in the radio. According to the directions, they want you to turn the drone on prior to turning the radio on. Let's also go ahead and put the prop guards on. You're just going to clip one end on and then clip the other side up into place. I like to use prop guards when I'm flying something new. I'm going to put a link in the description, and you guys can go ahead and pick yourself up one of these if you think it's a little drone that you or somebody that you know might enjoy. Let's get into how to fly this drone. Per the directions, you're going to first turn the power on the drone, pressing for 2 seconds. Now you can see the lights are flashing around the drone. So number 2, power on the remote. For pairing, after powering on the drone, both indicator lights on the drone and remote are flashing. Then push the left joystick to the top and then down to the lowest. After 2 seconds, the indicator lights turn solid, means pairing is successful. Okay, so now let's take off. So you push forward once, that activates your motors, and then push forward again easy, and then that lifts it up. All right, so it's definitely a little more difficult to fly than a DJI, but it does have all the same functions. And you kind of just drop it out of the sky. So the flight characteristics, I was trying to get it adjusted out to where it would stop floating around on its own, but it just couldn't quite get it. So I'm going to keep playing around with this thing. For right now, it seems to be, pretty cool. Let me go ahead and cut the power off. Later on, I'll get into how long the battery lasts after I figure out how to fly it a little bit better. It's a pretty cool little drone. It's a good price point. It's nice and small. Even with the prop guards, it's not much bigger than your hand. So I've been playing with this drone a little bit more. I've run a few battery packs through it now. It's easier to fly than the Tiny Hawk by Emax, but it's a lot harder to fly than a DJI as far as staying in one place and not, because of course DJI is a lot more money and it's a GPS drone. It's fun to fly by sight. I'll put in some video that I took from it. Definitely a little bit more of a learning curve than a DJI drone, but again, for the price point, I think this would be a good starter drone for a kid to fly. Indoors would probably be better. It's susceptible to the wind, but if it was somebody with kids in a bigger house, or a kid that had a gymnasium or something that he could fly in at school or something, I think it'd be a fun little drone for a kid. But for an adult who has already flown a DJI drone, I don't think it's that great. And these are just my opinions. What I think I'm going to do with this drone is possibly send it around to a few people and let them try it out as well. The first person that's going to be trying this one is going to be Tom Pepin TV. I'm going to let him test it out for a few days, see what he thinks about it, and we'll go from there. The radio, everything works pretty straightforward. But like I said, outside it's susceptible to any light winds. So I think it would be best suited for indoors, but I don't have any big indoor spaces right now. I tried to fly it over at my in-laws' house, but I had Donovan with me, and of course he was losing his mind, so I really couldn't do anything. So maybe I'll go over there again later without Donovan and try flying it inside. I'm going to run a few more packs through it before I pass it off to the next person. Link in the description. If you want one, go get one. The one-touch takeoff button actually works pretty well. It goes up to about 4 feet and it hovers pretty good. But it does float around a little bit, kind of unnecessarily, but like I said, I'm in a really small space, so it's creating its own wind in here that's throwing it off a little bit, whereas if it were in a bigger room, I think it would do a lot better. And then the one-touch landing works pretty well as well. It's got some decent features on it. Overall, for a kid, I think this would be a great starter drone.